What's up, everybody? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. For this Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025, I'm your host, Russ Williams. I'm so glad you could be here, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army. I know you could have been anywhere in this world. I know you could have been anywhere in this world today, but you decided to be here with me. And I appreciate that. And more importantly, I appreciate you. So welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have an action-packed show once again, but before I start the show, I always like to state my intentions. My intention is to give you the opportunity to laugh, smile, think, and engage in honest conversations about your life's transitions and beyond. So that is what we do here on Transition Tuesdays, and I want to give you guys a soul clap for making it. Transition Army, for making it to the show. For making it. I know you could have been anywhere in this world, but you decided to be here with me, and I appreciate that. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you know how we do here. When you come on, I shout you out. I give you a shout out, all right? So, in transition news today, right? On this Transition Tuesdays, the New York Knicks fire head coach Tom Thibodeau. And like I always say, something always goes down on the Transition Tuesdays. I don't know what it is, man, but something always goes down. Something always goes down. Let me read this press release here, man. Really big. The New York Knicks have fired head coach Tom Thibodeau. The team announced today on this Transition Tuesdays. The decision came 3 days after the Knicks were eliminated in the Eastern Conference Finals by our Indiana Pacers in 6 games. Thibodeau won 57% of his regular season games as Knicks head coach, going, check out this result. He had 226 wins and 174 overall losses over 5 seasons as the New York head coach. I want to read this quote because this is very important as I check in to see who's checking in. And who is checking in? We got Felicia checking in from the Rock. What's going on, Felicia? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you're here, sweetie. And also we got my sister-in-law. We got Dee Dee on the check-in from Jersey on the check-in. What's going on, Dee Dee? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Welcome, ladies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good. All right, good. So let me read this quote. Very important. Our organization is singularly focused on winning a championship for our fans. This pursuit led us to a difficult decision to inform Tom Thibodeau that we decided to move in another direction. Oh boy, I hate to hear those things. Knicks President Leon Rose said in a press conference, and keep this in mind about Leon Rose. Leon Rose was once the agent of who? Tom Thibodeau, because he used to be an agent back in the day. Okay? I'll continue on with the quote by Leon Rose. He says, "We can't thank Tom enough for pouring his heart and soul into each and every day of being the New York head coach. He led us not only with class and professionalism, but for the past 5 seasons, but also to tremendous success on the court with 4 playoff berths and 4 playoff series victories. Ultimately, we made the decision we feel is best for our organization moving forward. Tom will always be a part of the New York Knicks family, and we truly wish him nothing but the best in his future endeavors." Okay, so that's coming from the Knicks president, Leon Rose. Okay, that's coming from him. So got some more to go. That's when I get a little swig of water, and I'm gonna shout people out too as well. Said he is good. Ooh, refreshing, refreshing. So let's see what's going on. As Felicia says, hey, looking handsome. I appreciate it, sweetie. Hashtag my Hall of Famer. Yes, I appreciate that, sweetie. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's continue on, right? The Knicks hired Thibodeau in 2020 to take over a team that had not reached the playoffs in 7 previous seasons. Thibodeau, proceeded to immediately change that, winning Coach of the Year. Tom Thibodeau was Coach of the Year in 2020, in the 2020 and the 2021 campaign that saw his team post a 41-31 record, right? So Thibodeau, who just signed a contract extension last summer, he just signed his contract extension, was set to run through the year 2027 through 2028. He leaves New York as the fourth winningest head coach in Knicks history, behind Red Holzman. Red Holzman has 2 titles, Joe Lapchick, and Jeff Van Gundy. Now the Knicks re-enter the coaching market with a strong roster and a proven front office. So we have all these items intact. And speaking of somebody intact who can shed some life on this, we got Gina, my sister cuz, checking in from North Carolina on the check-in. What's going on, Gina? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Welcome. So yeah, man, Transition Army. I just want to ask you guys, Transition Army, everybody out there, okay? Tom Thibodeau just got fired. Do you think Tom Thibodeau deserved to be fired as the Knicks coach? Do you think he deserved to be fired? Man, this is a tough one for me, and I'll start. This is a tough one for me. I would have to say, yeah, I mean, he didn't deserve to get fired, but I think it was eminently near, that this was going to take place. This would be a different story if the Knicks came back, forced a Game 7, win Game 7, and then lose to OKC in the finals. Yeah, they couldn't fire him there. They'll be stuck with him if that was the case, but that didn't happen, okay? We also saw throughout this playoff, especially with the Pacers, we saw the deficiencies of the New York Knicks. We were exposed, okay? And let's keep it a buck here. Let's keep it real. Thibodeau was outcoached by Rick Carlisle. He was totally outcoached, right? He was outcoached. Defensively, we were exposed. Jalen Brunson was exposed. Man, Karl Anthony Towns was exposed. Man, Bridges was exposed. They thought they could score on that guy each and every time. So again, we pay to see players play and not see coaches coach, okay? So somebody had to be the fall guy. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, we sealed our fate, New York Knicks fans, by losing Game 1. If we would have won Game 1, we were up by 20, we would have won that one. It'd be probably a different series. But again, we didn't. And again, this is what happens when you don't win. Because, Leon Rose is like, listen, this is championship or bust time. So again, we didn't get it done. So somebody had to get the axe, and it's never the players. Never the players. You can't fire players, okay? But you can fire the coach. You know what I mean? They need some of that positive energy. And speaking of positive energy, we got on the check-in. We got the guy, the host of the Pick and Pop podcast. We also got the host of he's the voice of the men's and women's basketball team at Manhattan University, formerly of Manhattan College. Man, we got ESPN's own Uncle Smoothie is in the building. What's going on, Uncle Smoothie? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Welcome. Man, Chris, I tell you, somebody needs that positive energy, man. You gotta pass on that positive energy to the person who's gonna be the next coach, Smooth. Just saying. Chris says, no, the Knicks fans got him fired. The Knicks fans got him fired? I don't know about that, Smooth. I don't know about that. Chris says Game 1 was a killer. I agree with you with that. And the Knicks were outplayed. Yeah, they were outplayed. They were outcoached. You know what I mean? We were exposed. We were exposed, man. We were like outside nude outside a Macy's window. Just totally exposed, the Knicks. And the coaching, Thibodeau was exposed too. We got to really give it. Thibodeau was exposed too, and I meant to his exposure. Just saying. So, guys, I have a couple of possible coaching candidates for the New York Knicks, okay? I'm going to run these down to you. Now, the first one I have is a guy, you probably never even heard of this guy, but he's going to loom large in this coaching process. And that's Johnny Bryant. If you don't know Johnny Bryant, he's an associate head coach with the Cleveland Cavaliers right now. He worked under Tibbs with the New York Knicks. Again, he was one of the finalists for the Phoenix Suns job. He didn't get the job, right? But he is a young guy. This league is going young. As you see in the coach of the Denver Nuggets, the coach of the OKC Thunder, these guys are young. They might be going young ways, and Johnny Bryant might solidify that job. So don't be surprised. You're going to be hearing his name coming up shortly. Also, another name, a guy I know very well, Mike Malone, who I played against at Manhattan University against Loyola, Maryland. Okay? Great guy. I had an opportunity to hang out with him when he was an assistant coach. And he used to be assistant coach for the New York Knicks for 1 year. He did that. And also when he was an assistant coach with the Pelicans, New Orleans Pelicans, you know, we struck over a record. Actually, he sent me tickets to go to games and everything. So Mike Malone is a good guy. He's a great guy, man. Great guy. Former Manhattan University assistant coach as well. And again, he won a chip with the Denver Nuggets. He's a great candidate. Then I'm going to give you another one, guys, okay? Another one here. And Chris, you'll probably like this one here, Smoothie. Jay Wright. I can see Jay Wright coaching his team, the Nova Knicks, all reuniting again, okay? Keep this in mind, too. The Pope who was just ignored at Point. Pope. Where did he graduated from? Villanova. Come on, man. It's in the cards. Jay Wright's coming back here. Do not be surprised about that one. He has a big TV deal, but you can always break that deal, okay? I'm going to give you another dark horse, okay? Sam Cassell. Sam Cassell. Think about Sam Cassell. Sam Cassell, he's going to get a job somewhere. He's assistant coach of the Boston Celtics. Maybe bring him for the Knicks. But again, we got a little sore spot for Sam Cassell in 94. The guy came off the bench and killed us. I believe he was a rookie at that time. So, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. That's a dark horse. That is definitely a dark horse. But here's another dark horse. Eric Spoelstra. How about Eric Spoelstra? How about we arrange a trade? Eric Spoelstra, along with Bam Adebayo, trade him for Cat Mobley and some coins, some chains, some pork fried rice and chicken wings. I don't know. Whatever you got to do to get it done, whatever you got to do to get it done, you get it done, right? So again, that might be the case. And check out, and here's why this is a dark, and here's why this, you know, this is wishful thinking for me. But here's the reason why this won't happen. Do you know that Eric Spoelstra just signed an extension, a large extension, right? But here's what the Miami Heat, here's how they felt about Eric Spoelstra. Here's what they did. He was going through a terrible divorce, an actual terrible divorce, Eric Spoelstra, right? They let him get his divorce, get all those things settled, and then they signed him up for the extension. You know why? Because they did that because of the loyalty to him, and they didn't want his ex-wife taking that money. So they signed him for that extension after he got a divorce. That's a fact. So again, that's wishful thinking for Eric Spoelstra to come here because, again, hated, you know, Miami Heat. Again, now I don't think they're going to do the Knicks any favors, so I don't see that happening, but that's a true story of how that went down with the Miami Heat and Eric Spoelstra. Okay, next, you got Danny Hurley. Remember Danny Hurley was about to go to the Lakers and everything for a boatload of money? Hey, he's right next door. Maybe bring him in as the coach. Bring him as the coach, and then, you know, we'll see. We'll see. But again, he'll have to adapt. You're not going to be screaming at these players like you do. You're not going to be screaming at these officials and whining the way you do. He's going to have to make the adjustment. You know, is Leon Rose going to do that? I highly doubt it. But again, it's a sexy pick. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they might look at that. Then I got two more other finalists. How about bringing back Jeff Van Gundy? Jeff Van Gundy. Bring him back. Again, he was on the bench this year, a defensive coach, right, for the Clippers. Okay, that's how they do it now. Defensive coaches, offensive coaches, everything like that. You know, Jeff Van Gundy. And if you bring in Van Gundy, you got to have Mark Jackson as the assistant. Or again, better yet, bring Mark Jackson in as the head coach. You know, we've seen what's happened in the past, right? You know what I mean? And I'm going to bring up a couple of instances like that with the NBA. You remember a lot of times when you fire a coach, the next coach, the next year, they win a championship. Right? Mark Jackson got fired. Steve Kerr gets the job. Steve Kerr was going to take the Knicks job. Somebody told him, no, don't take the Knicks job. Take that Warriors job. Next year, they win a championship. Nick Nurse, remember him? Remember Dwayne Casey? Dwayne Casey was coach of the year when they went, you know, coach of the year. He gets fired next year. They bring in Nick Nurse. They win a championship. Right? Remember Eric Black? Right? For the Cleveland Cavaliers? They had a great record going into the All-Star break. They fired him. Who else they bring in? My man, the coach of the Clippers, they brought him in. And guess what? They win a championship. So there's a history of this. After you get rid of a coach, you bring in somebody else new, and next thing you know, you win a championship. So let's hope that's in the vein for us. Chris says, the Knicks fans are never satisfied. You guys got too excited. Yeah, we got too excited. That's the young Knicks Nation, though. That's the young Knicks Nation, you know what I mean? They saying, you know, all this stuff and hanging off rafters and hanging off jumbotrons, you know what I mean? And they're young, you know, I give it to them, they're young. They don't know about 25 years of pain the last time we were in the championship. You know what I mean? They don't know about that. So that's the young Knicks Nation that went overboard. You know, but they're okay. We'll still rock with them. Chris also says Mike Malone or maybe Jay Wright. yeah, definitely those two. And Smooth also say love the shirt. Smooth, thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. And Chris also says the team needs a reputable coach. Absolutely. I agree with that, Chris. I think they got to really come in with a splash. Come in with a splash so we can make the memories last. You like that, guys? Come in with a splash so we can make the memories last. So we're going to see what goes on. And shout out to Adam Silver because, again, they could have did this stuff before. Now, again, we got all these days before the championship on Thursday. Bet you Adam Silver called the Knicks and said, listen, man, make this announcement now. You guys know what you want to do. Again, this is going to be a great lead into the championship, the finals that start on Thursday between the OKC Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. So, shout out to Adam Silver. He probably made this happen as well, too. You just never know how things are going. So, Knick fan, Knick Nation, we're going to see how this goes. You know what I mean? We're going to be pulling for whoever gets the head coaching job. I hope they come in with somebody with a splash. And again, I'm not going to be that delusional Knick fan. But again, I just broke down the history of replacement coaches coming in the next year and they winning a title. Let's just hope this is the case for the New York Knicks. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. So ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, if we were able to make you laugh, smile, and think during this broadcast, you have accomplished something major, my good friends. So celebrate your victory. Celebrate your victory. You got here today. I'm considering that's a victory for me. And more important, it's a victory for you, man. And I appreciate you guys coming each and every Tuesday here on Transition Tuesdays. I appreciate you guys. Really, really do. Selector. Here we go. All righty. So, yeah, Chris also says the league is definitely more fun when the Knicks are good. Absolutely. Yep. When the Knicks are good, we all win. We all shine. You know what I mean? So 25 years ago, we were in the championship. You know what I mean? Let's get a good run coming up again. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition on. Hey, I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for you watching Transition Tuesdays each and every Tuesday. Okay? You can watch this show and our past shows on our YouTube channel, Transition Tuesdays. You can like and subscribe before you leave the channel. Please make sure you do that. Okay? If you haven't been following me, you can follow me on Instagram at Russ World Transitions. That's Russ World Transitions with an S. Okay? You follow me and I'll follow you back. Also, see how we get down on TikTok, okay? My handles there is Russ Williams, the number 11. Russ Williams, the number 11. See that number 11 right there? That jersey right there? Right there. Russ Williams 11, okay? We have a lot of fun there. Hope to see you guys on there as well. Major shout out to our corporate sponsor, Sweet Candy Cafe, home of Southern Sweetness in downtown Lumberton, North Carolina. So the show's about to end. So after the show, I want you guys to head to sweetcandycafe.com to order your confectionery goodies. Your taste buds will thank you. Okay? I thank you. Okay? The owner of the Sweet Candy Cafe, Mrs. Sweetness, we thank you all for doing that too. 13 years, going on 13 years, guys. Support small businesses is very important. Very important to our economy and our way of life. Okay? Now, so, as we say in Parting Transition Army, okay? Happy transitioning, and we'll speak to you soon. Take care, everybody. God bless. Oh, let me play this last doozy before we head on out. Let's go, Knicks. Let's make the correct choice here. It's our time. Bing bong. Take care, guys.